In a small island village, one good man chose God, but the people he trusted the most betrayed him. Far in the creeks of the Niger Delta lay Sal community, a quiet island surrounded completely by water. Canoes moved gently across the river each morning, fishermen cast their nets, and wooden houses stood proudly above the tides. Life in Sal was simple, but among the young men of the community lived someone who would one day change its history. His name was Oputamuno. Before anyone knew him as a righteous man, Oputamuno had once lived like many youths in the village. He drank palm wine late into the night. He gambled with his friends under the moonlight. His closest companions were Biso, Dakubo, and Okrite. They laughed loudly, competed in games of chance, and spent their evenings in careless pleasures. But one evening, travelers passed through Sal community. They spoke about the life and sacrifice of Jesus Christ, the Son of God who gave his life for humanity. Their words stirred something deep inside Oputamuno. That night he sat alone beside the river. The moonlight danced across the calm water as he reflected on his life. By morning, he made a decision. Oputamuno gave his life to Christ. From that day forward, everything about him changed. He stopped gambling. He stopped drinking instead. He began helping the weak in the community. When widows struggled to carry fish from the river, Oputamuno helped them. When fishermen fought over territory, he settled their disputes peacefully. When travelers arrived confused or lost, he guided them kindly. People began to say, Oputamuno's heart has become softer than the river breeze. Even strangers who visited Sal noticed his honesty. Foreign traders who came by boat soon trusted him to guide them through the village. But not everyone was pleased. The spiritual leader of the community, Tamuno Ofori, began to feel threatened. The villagers were beginning to respect Oputamuno more than they respected the elders. Tamuno Ofori whispered to the council, "A man who gathers followers easily may soon control the village." Slowly, suspicion began to grow. To destroy Oputamuno's influence, Tamuno Ofori turned to someone close to him, his friend, Ebiso. One night, Tamuno Ofori approached Ebiso secretly. He promised wealth and influence if Ebiso would help expose Oputamuno. Ebiso struggled with the decision, but greed slowly overcame loyalty, and so he agreed. That night, under the quiet moon of Sal, Oputamuno sat outside his humble hut reading his Bible by lantern light. Footsteps approached. It was Ebiso. Oputamuno smiled warmly. "Brother, it has been many days since I saw you." Ebiso forced a weak smile. Hidden among the mangrove trees nearby were Amayanbo and the village guards. Ebiso had already told them where they would find Oputamuno. Moments later, the guards rushed out and surrounded him. By order of the council, Amayanbo declared Oputamuno is under arrest. Tony, the loyal supporter of Oputamuno, ran outside in shock. What crime has he committed? No one answered. Oputamuno looked calmly at Ebiso. "Brother, why?" Ebiso could not look at him. Oputamuno spoke gently. "May God forgive you." At sunrise, the village gong called everyone to the square. Villagers gathered from every corner of Sal. At the center stood Oputamuno with his hands tied. Tamuno Ofori addressed the crowd. "This man has betrayed our traditions and misled our people." Tony pushed through the crowd shouting, "That is a lie." But Tamuno Ofori called Ebiso forward to testify. Under pressure, Ebiso repeated the false accusations. Fear spread through the crowd. Soon voices began shouting, "Punish him, drive him out." The chief, Sakariba, looked troubled but said little. Tony cried out to Oputamuno, "Tell them the truth." Oputamuno raised his head and spoke calmly. "People of Sal, I have only taught love, faith, and honesty." He paused and continued, "If that is my crime, then I accept whatever judgment you give." The crowd fell silent for a moment. But Tamuno Ofori stirred their anger again, and the crowd turned against him. Even as the villagers rejected him, Oputamuno did not curse them. Instead he spoke gently, "Do not let hatred rule your hearts." He looked toward Ebiso. and may God forgive those who have wronged me." His calmness left many villagers uneasy, but the decision had already been made. Years later, many in Sao began to realize the truth. They remembered Oputamuno's kindness, they remembered his peaceful teachings, and they regretted how easily they had believed lies. Even Ibiso was haunted by guilt for the rest of his life. The story of Oputamuno became a lesson passed down through generations, a reminder that sometimes the righteous suffer injustice, but truth cannot remain buried forever. Just as the world remembers the sacrifice and victory of Jesus Christ during Easter, the people of Sao learned that light will always rise after darkness.